What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up automated survey post-project completion to gather feedback and testimonials on make.com. Let's get started. I'm using money.com as my project management tool. And here I have a board I've renamed to automation service project. This is our service. We're setting up for these clients right here. So we have the first name, last name, company, email, phone number, the location. We would like to set up an automated survey to gather feedback and testimonials. After we have completed this project, we are going to use Typeform to add the survey questions. Now on Typeform, I've created a form and I've renamed it to survey post-project completion form. We have 8 questions that we're asking the client after we are done setting up the entire project for them. The first question that we're asking them is, how satisfied are you with our services? And then they can rate us over here. The second question is, how likely are you to recommend our services to others? And then they are rating us over here. The other question is, how well did we communicate throughout the project? The other question is, were the timelines of the project delivery met as agreed? They can say yes or no. How easy is it for your team to use the automated system? What could you have done better during this project? The other question is there anything else you would like to share about your experience with our service? And the last question is, do you have any suggestions for improving our services or processes? I'll click on share so I can copy the link to this form. I'll copy the link by clicking copy link over here. And then on make, I'll begin setting up our automation. Here, I'll search for webhooks and click on custom webhook. So I like to trigger our automation after our status changes to completed. Now here, I'll add a webhook and rename our webhook to surveys post project completion webhook, and then click on save. I'll copy the link. On Monday, I'll click on integrate, and then click on webhooks. I like to send a webhook when a status changes to something. So click on the template and then click on use another account, then paste the link that we copied, and then click on connect. You can see it says fail to communicate with URL provided. We're required to connect on Monday and make manually. To do that, I'll click on OK, and then here, click on webhooks and then webhook response, and then we'll try to return this response right here. I'll add curly braces, and then I'll try to return this challenge response, and then click on OK. Now I'll run automation, and then here I'll click on connect. You can see connected successfully. I'll delete this, we no longer need it, and set up our webhook. So we would like to send our webhook when status changes to completed, and then click on add to board. Now here we can test our webhook if it's running successfully by changing our status to intake and then changing it to completed. You can see it ran successfully. We're getting the name of our service right here. The next thing we'll do here is on Monday, we're going to get the details of our service. I'll search for get an item and then click on an item. For the ID, we're going to add our pulse ID. For the board, our board is called automation service project. So here I'll search for automation service project, and then click on OK. If we copy our pulse ID and then run this module only, we'll paste our pulse ID, then click on OK. You can see we're getting all the details of our service, including the client's first name, last name, company, email, phone number, and location. I'll add another new module to send an email asking the client to fill in the form with the question that we're asking them, so we can gather feedback and maybe collect a testimony from the client. So here I'll search for email, then click on send an email. Now for email, here we'll add our recipient. So we're sending our email to our client right here, and this is the email. And then the subject line could be on the lines of, we value your feedback, please share your experience. And then for the content of the email, we can say, hi, first name, we recently completed our project with you, and we would love to hear your thoughts on how everything went. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to us as it helps us improve and ensure we are always delivering the best possible service. If you could take a few minutes to fill out a brief form, we would greatly appreciate it. Click here to share your feedback, and then here we're going to add the link to our type form. So on type form, I'll copy the link right here and then paste the link over here. Additionally, if you're happy with our work, would be grateful if you could provide a testimonial that we can share with future clients. Thank you for your time and for choosing us for your. And then here we are adding the title of our project, which is Automation Project Needs. We look forward to continuing our partnership in the future. Best regards, Dennis. And then here we can add the break tags to avoid our email being sent as one giant paragraph. And then click on OK. Let us see if it will send our email to our client with a link to our form so they can fill in our survey form. To do that, I'll run once and click on wait for new data. So here I'll change our status to intake and then change it to completed so we can trigger our automation. It's sending our email. Now when we open our email, you can see our subject line right here. It says, we value your feedback, please share your experience. Our email say, hi, first name, we recently completed a project with you. We'd like to hear your thoughts on how everything went. Here we are adding the link to the survey form where they're going to fill it in. To preview the form, I'll just click on our link. This will be the first part of automation. On our folder, I'll create a new scenario. On this automation, we are going to watch the responses from our form. So if the client fills up the form and submits the form, is going to trigger this automation right here. So I'll search for type form. And then here, I'll watch responses. I'll search for connection, which was survey question connection. And then here I'll choose form ID, which is a survey post project completion. Limit, we can say 1, and then click on OK. And then we can say to start from now. And then after we have our responses, we're going to list our responses right here. We're still going to choose our form right here. And then the limit here, we can set it to 1 instead of 10. And then click on OK. Our email, we got the link to our form for our client to fill in. So we can fill it in, and after we submit, we're going to trigger our automation over here. I'm going to fill in all our questions. So how satisfied were you with our services? I can say 9. How likely are you to recommend our services to others? You can say 10. How well did we communicate? I can say greatly done. And then click on OK. Were the timelines of the project delivery met as agreed? I can say yes. And click on OK. How easy is it for your team to use the automated system? I can say extremely simple. And click on OK. What could we have done better during this project? Hired an operation manager. And click on OK. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your experience with our service? You can say, and then click on OK. Do you have any suggestion for improving our services or processes? You can say no for now. And then click on submit. And go back to automation. We're going to run it. And you can see we got our answers right here. So how satisfied were you with our services? 9. How likely are you to recommend? 10. Greatly done. Do you have anything else to add now? So we're getting our responses over here, and we are listing them with this module over here. After watching our responses and listing our responses right here, we can choose to add the responses to a database, let's say an Airtable database, a spreadsheet, or a new board on Monday, just to collect the feedback. On Monday, I've created a new board and renamed it to Project Feedback. So here we're going to list the name of the project, and then we're going to collect all the responses from that particular client. So we can collect the feedback right here on Monday using our automation right here. To do that, I'll add a new module and search for Monday. We're going to scroll down here where it says item, and then we're going to create an item. For the item name, we're going to rename it to our project. Now, since we only have one project, an automation project right here, I'm just going to add it right here. But if you have multiple services, you can choose to list them, then select a specific service and add it right here. For board ID, I'll choose our board. Now this time around, we are adding to the project feedback board. For the group ID, here we can rename the group ID to project feedback. On our group ID, I'll refresh it And here we can choose the project feedback, and we can start adding our items. Any suggestions, the value is going to be for any suggestions right here. For the date, we're going to choose the date the form was submitted. So here I'll choose submitted at as our date. For how likely are you to recommend us, we're going to add how likely are you to recommend us. And then for how satisfied are you, we're going to add that value. How satisfied are you with our services? How well do we communicate? You can add the value right here. How well do we communicate? What the timeline met? What the timeline met for the project? Then what could we have done better? You can add the value right here. Then click on OK. Instead of running our automation runs again and begin filling up our form, I'll choose to start from our previous form that we submitted, which is this one, and then click on OK, and then run it. Ran successfully, and it added our responses to our board. When we go back to our board, you can see we added our survey answers over here. So for the project title, it's automation service, the date it was created, how satisfied are you, we're adding the answer right here, how likely are you to recommend us, we're adding the answer right here, how well did we communicate, we're adding the answer right here, what the timelines met, what could we have done better, any suggestions, we are adding all those responses right here on our project management tool. Now, besides adding the feedback to our project management tool, we can choose to send another email to the client thanking them for completing the survey form and submitting it. Here, I'll search for email and then click on send an email. In order to send our email to our client, we'll first of all need to get their details right here. So in this case, we're going to get their email so we can send them an email. To do that, on Monday, I'll get an items column value. You can just auto align it. On this module, we'll choose our board. So we're getting our details from the automation service project board. Our item is this, and the item that we like to get is the email. Now we can run this module. You can see now we're getting the email address over here. Now we can send them an email. The recipient email, we're going to add the email right here. And then the subject line could be on the lines of thank you for your feedback. And then the content of the email could be on the lines of I wanted to personally thank you for taking the time to fill out our feedback form. We've received your response and truly appreciate your insights. Your feedback is invaluable to us, and we're glad to hear about your experience working with us. Your input helps us refine our services and continue delivering top quality solutions. If you ever have any further thoughts or need assistance in the future, please do not hesitate to reach out. We are always here to support you. Thanks again for your time and trust in us. Best, then name, just in this case Dennis, and then click on OK. So that could be the email that we are sending them. Here we can rename our email to, and then click on OK. Now, after sending this email, we can choose to also send a message to our team telling them that the client whose project they've been working on has responded with the feedback. Here, you can search for Slack and then click on create a message. So for our channel, we can choose Relax as our channel. And then here we can add our message that we're going to send to our team. And the message could be in the lines of, hi team, just wanted to let you know that we received feedback on the automation project. The client has completed our feedback form, and I'll be going over the details soon. I'll share the key insights with everyone, but I wanted to give you a quick shout out for all the hard work you've put into this project. Great job, team. Let's keep the momentum going. So that could be the message that we're sending to our team on Slack. Then click on OK. Save Automation will send a thank you email to our client for submitting their survey form. I'll not fill in the form again, but I'll choose to start from the form that we previously submitted. So I'll choose this and then click on OK, and then run it. So you can see over here, automation ran successfully, got our responses, it listed them and added them to a Monday CRM. You can see we have the second data added over here. And then we sent an email to the client thanking them for filling in our survey form. And we also sent a message to our team via Slack. For the email, you can see our email right here. It says, thank you for your feedback. and it goes ahead to thank the client for submitting our survey form. And then on our Slack, you can see here we are sending them a message right here saying, "Hey team, just want to let you know that we've received feedback on the automation project. The client has completed our feedback form, and I'll be going over the details soon. I'll share the key insights with everyone, but I wanted to give you a quick shout out for the hard work you've put in this project. Great job, team. Let's keep the momentum going." These are the two automations you can set up right now to collect feedback and testimonials from a client whose project you've been working on. After our status changes to completed, is triggering our automation and sending the client an email with a link to the type form where they will complete the survey form. And then after they've submitted the form, it will trigger the second automation where we are getting their responses, listing them, adding them to our Monday project feedback board right here. And then we're also sending them an email thanking them for submitting the form. And we're also notifying our team that the client whose project they've been working on has submitted the feedback of the project. This was a simple automation that automates the process of collecting feedback and testimonials from a client after you've completed a project. If you have any automation or a system in mind that you'd like for me to create, just comment down below in the comment section. And then if I find your comment interesting, I'll come back on a future video showing you how to set up the automation or the system from scratch. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.